School has never come easy to me, although, ironically, I have wanted to be a teacher for my entire life. This is a story of how I further developed my dream to become an elementary school teacher. When I was in kindergarten, I have vivid memories of struggling with reading and writing, and this led to constant frustration. I did not understand why it took me longer than my peers to complete assignments, and reading and writing certainly did not come easy to me. After months of challenges, I was placed into a specialized Jumpstart reading program to improve my reading fluency and comprehension. When my reading comprehension did not drastically improve, my parents decided to test me for learning disabilities. Through testing, I discovered that I have ADD and dyslexia, which explained why it took me twice as long to complete my assignments and why my attention span did not last as long as my peers. Early literacy development brought many challenges. I still loved reading books with my parents and looked up to my teachers for support and guidance. When I was in elementary school, I loved to play school with my younger brother. I would pretend to be the teacher and he would be the student. I prided myself on the cabinet of school supplies filled with workbooks, dry erase boards, flashcards, and math tiles. I loved creating different assignments and reading books aloud to my students. My desire to be a teacher began in elementary school and carried with me up until my adult life. In 6th grade, 2 of my friends and I started a summer camp for the neighborhood children. We planned out various activities, created a budget, purchased supplies, mapped out a daily schedule, and carried out a week-long summer camp. I enjoyed this camp as it was a taste of what it would be like to organize activities for a group of young children and serve as a guide and role model for them. Throughout middle school and high school, I became involved in my school's tutoring programs. In middle school, I would visit a local elementary school to read with students, and in high school, I tutored the same elementary student in math each week. I loved having the opportunity to see my student progress in his or her math abilities, and I formed an ongoing bond with the individual child each year. When I was in high school and college, I was a summer camp counselor at Camp Elahi, where I grew up spending summers in Brevard, North Carolina. I spent 10 summers at Elahi as I was growing up, and the experiences I had as a camper and counselor helped shape me into the person I am today. This past summer, I worked as a trip leader for Moondance, a teen adventure program, during which I was responsible for my students throughout Belize and Costa Rica. I excelled at spontaneous motivation, developed team-building methods to maintain a positive group morale, and managed a trip itinerary. This summer reminded me of another reason I hope to be a teacher. I was able to evoke a sense of wonder and creativity within my students, and I wish to emphasize this as a teacher one day. My experience as a babysitter, tutor, camp counselor, and trip leader have all played a role into feeding my desire to become a future elementary school teacher. Furthermore, I hope to be a support system for children who are struggling with a learning disability. I know from experience how frustrating it can be, and I hope to give back to those students who are not confident in their literacy abilities. I hope to form strong relationships with my students, foster their sense of wonder and creativity, and grow alongside them throughout this teaching journey.